Make a pumpkin roll. I've never made a roll. So I have made this recipe about 1 billion times. However, I've never done it in the actual roll form. So it's one where you just mix your wet, you mix your dry, you mix it together. So we're gonna start with our flour into our container. We're gonna be putting our sugar in with it. We'll be putting in our baking powder. That's this guy here. We've got our baking soda here. And again, if you're doing this at home, you're not having to measure it into the things. I do it so this way I can move quickly and you can see exactly the process, but you don't have to do this at home. And then our salt, okay? So then after that, we're gonna put in our spices. Now, yes, could you put other spices in here? Absolutely, but this is what the recipe calls for. So I'm gonna show you what it calls for and you can customize it as you see fit. This is nutmeg here. Put a little bit more because I don't feel like that was as full as it needed to be. That's nutmeg. And my personal favorite, man, I feel like I'm rushing. I really don't need to rush. It's just that my kid's yelling in the background while he's playing video games, real life. This is clove. Now, clove is my favorite. I will love it always and forever. Always and forever. I love the smell. I love everything about it. There we go. Cloves, okay? So then we're gonna mix that together. Perfect. So we'll just mix this guy together and we're gonna set this one aside once it's mixed. And you can see it doesn't take super long. Most of these things don't take long. It's just a matter of doing it. Okay, so we've got this right here. This looks like a whole lot of nothing. Awesome, we're gonna set that aside. Bring in our other bowl. So from here, we are going to be putting in, I'm gonna mix our 4 eggs right away. So remember how we do this on the counter. Perfect. I'm putting it in here just because you never know if that egg is going to be okay. So I'd rather do this and know, throwing them in my sink, I'll clean them up later. You don't ever wanna have a gross egg go into your stuff. So this is a way to guarantee that doesn't happen. There we go. Beautiful, bring that back in. So we're going to mix this guy up. Easy as that. We're going to add in our oil. This is an oil-based cake. Could you use butter? Probably, but because I am gonna be doing this in the roll form, which again, I've never done, and I could completely screw up and look like an idiot, but I'm still gonna post it. The oil is good because it keeps it super moist and it makes it so that it should be a little bit more pliable. So I don't know, you could experiment with it. I'm not gonna judge you if you decide to do something different. It just may not work the way that you want. I decided to add in vanilla. It technically didn't call for it, but I like vanilla in everything. So remember, mine's thicker. It's the vanilla bean paste. Okay, so this is our pumpkin puree. Could you use fresh pumpkin? Absolutely. The recipe said it technically called for 2 cups, but one of these is like 1 ounce, or yeah, 1 ounce less than 2 cups. And I'm not about to open up a new can just for 1 ounce, not happening. So 1 full can, I got this guy at Aldi, it was like $1.25. So again, not super pricey, it's just one of those things that you may not necessarily have at home all the time. And you just need to pick up if you're wanting to do this. I also had to pick up a pan to do this because I didn't have the right size. It needs to be a 15 by 10 inch pan to actually be the right size for a pumpkin roll. And that's the stupid thing. We all have like, you know, we have 9 by 13s or we have quarter sheets, and all of those are different sizes. And what it calls for to do a roll is a 10 by 15. I was able to pick it up. I grabbed it at Walmart. It was, look at that nice texture. It was $5, $5.32 after tax here in Texas. So again, but you don't have to do the roll. You can just bake it in a sheet and then put the icing on it and then just cut it out in squares. That's what I've done before. I've done it in stacked cakes, but I really want to try the roll today because I've never done that. So we've got this guy looking super nice. Then we just simply pour this in here and scrape it out. And then we're just going to mix it until it just comes together. Beautiful. And again, we can just mix it gently. You could fold it together if you wanted. I just already had the whisk in there, so I figured I'll use it. But you can see again, this really doesn't take long. And of course, mine was measured ahead of time, so yours might take a couple extra minutes just because you're going to be measuring at the same time. Scrape that bottom, make sure you get all of it. So you can see as I'm going around, there's some. There we go, that looks really good. Okay. So there's this guy. You can scrape this off like that. And I'm gonna do one last scrape around the edges just to make sure I've got it. See? Oh, see, there's some at the bottom that was missed. So make sure to get in there with that. Okay, so this is good. We're gonna set that aside. We're gonna bring in our pan. Okay, so here's the pan. And I did make this, it's just the parchment paper in the right size. Taking a little bit, this is my cake goop that I always have a jar of. I make it myself. The recipe is, you can get it online. I'll show you where you can get it in just a second, but we're just gonna do the edges here. I'm trying to make sure I have enough time. I got a little nervous, but I should be okay. Really, this is a non-stick pan, so you really don't need a lot. And because you're using the parchment paper, you really don't need a lot. You just need to do just enough of a coating that the edges are good, and you can put a little bit here just to help it stick, a little bit here just to help it stick, and then a tiny, tiny bit of it on the actual parchment, but you really don't need a lot because the parchment will just peel off. And there's enough oil in this thing that you're not gonna have to worry, okay? That's good. So then, remember, this is a 10 by 15. So we're gonna pour this in. This is what it called for. Even as I scraped, I could see a couple places I probably could have done a little bit better with mixing. This one is going to go into a preheated oven, 350 degrees Celsius, 177 degrees, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, good grief, 177 degrees Celsius, that would have been bad. But there's this, you're gonna just even it out, push it to all those corners, like this, and we're gonna bake it for 20 to 25 minutes. And then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do when it comes out, because you have to work with it while it's still hot to get it to go into the roll. Apparently this is really difficult to do. I've never done it, and I'm excited to try or excited to fail. We'll see, let's bake it. This is hot out of the oven. It's real thick, so I'm not quite sure how this is gonna roll. We're gonna let it cool for a couple of minutes so that way I can work with it, because I do have to work with it while it's hot, but I also don't wanna burn myself, so let's let it cool for a minute. And I mean, it's really thick, so I truly don't know if it's gonna roll. See, I could see if I was to level it off that it might roll correctly, but it doesn't say to do that. So, I don't know. I'm gonna let it cool for a minute. We're just gonna lightly run our knife along the edges. You can see that this didn't stick anywhere. Oh, a little bit there. Like this, okay. And then we're going to put a clean towel over top of it like this. And then I'm gonna basically slide it off of that so I can have something to flip it onto. We're gonna flip this upside down like this, and then we're going to flip it like that. This is really freaking hot still, so watch your hands. That should come off nice and clean. Awesome. And we're going to peel that off. Great, okay. Let that sit for a few more seconds. I'm putting a clean one on top. I'm gonna do it this way here. I truly have no idea what I'm doing, but they say you're supposed to basically just really gently, I'm gonna use this with it, and just kind of start to turn it like this, and like this. Okay, it rolled, and now I'm gonna leave it until it cools, like this. I'm just gonna leave it right in here, okay. So now you're supposed to leave it until it just cools, and we're gonna make the icing. So while our roll is cooling down, we're gonna make our icing, which is going to be our cream cheese, and then our butter, which I haven't even taken out of here yet, but I did have to soften a little bit in the microwave because it wasn't, woo, that was exciting. It was a little bit too cold because I took it out of the fridge. I hadn't been planning ahead for this, so that's okay, that happens. So first we're gonna mix these two together, because if these aren't mixed well together, that's when you can get lumps. So you can just start with these ones. Again, yes, you can use a hand mixer, you can use a stand mixer, but I'm gonna try it like this just to see how it goes. So you're gonna wanna just mix these guys together until they're smooth, okay? And the reason I use a wooden spoon is it's just a little more stiff than, say, a spatula. Like, you could use a spatula, but I feel like sometimes because they move a little bit, it's not as easy to mix things together as, say, a wooden spoon. And I got these guys on TikTok Shop in a set. But yeah, you can see that this is looking pretty good. Now what you can do is, again, the spatula is important and helpful to be able to make sure that we get it all together. Just here for now, just to make sure we scrape it. Once you get to this point, then yeah, you could go into your spatula just to make sure that it all mixes like this. But I'll probably go back to my wooden spoon when I add in my sugar. So again, this is just a really simple, I would call it like a cream cheese topping. It's not going to be a thick icing. It's not going to be a heavy icing, but it is going to give us that cream cheese taste and that nice sweetness that you want inside your cake. So we're going to put this, I'm going to add in a little bit of vanilla. Perfect. That'll be good enough. And again, I'll give you all your measurements at the end. The measurements will also be in the description. So if you want to screenshot it there, it'll be there as well. So that way you've got all of your options. You can see how that changes the texture. Now I'll just probably switch back to this guy. I'm going to be trying to get this to be over a 10-minute video. I think I can make it work. If not, this might be in a second video. Sorry, I try to get it all in one. But if for some reason I can't, that's why you might see this in a different one, but I'll make sure you get all the information in one day. And I'll make sure to point you in all the right directions of all the good stuff. Okay, so you can see that vanilla is now mixed in. See how that texture changes? Perfect. So this is why we're going to need to use the wooden spoon, because you can see that it's already starting to thicken up again, which is good. But now we need to mix in our sugar. And they pretty much just need to mix it until smooth. It doesn't have to be fluffy. It doesn't have to be, you know, it just has to get smooth. So this is just like when you're creaming butter and sugar together for the beginning of cookies. That's what we're going to do, the same process here, just to work that together. Oh yeah, I think I'm supposed to have milk for this. Yeah, I'm supposed to have a tablespoon of milk. Can you get me the milk from the fridge? Thank you. Perfect, doesn't have to be much, I only need a tablespoon. You can just pop right there, thank you. My arm's getting tired. I'm feeling so lazy. There we go. And yeah, we'll put in a tablespoon of milk just to help to thin this out just a little bit. Again, if you could use vegan cream cheese, you could use vegan butter. You can use any type of plant milk that you want and make this into a vegan option. You would just have to switch in your cake the eggs out for like a chia seed mix, which is like a 1-to-1 tablespoon water, 1-to-1 tablespoon of water to chia seeds. You can even grind your chia seeds just for texture, and then that will work for you. So then we're gonna mix, we're gonna add in our 1 tablespoon of milk. Come on. This is A2 milk. It's just what we use in this house. Whatever milk you have, you can use. I used whole. If you've got 1%, 2%, skim, whatever you have will work. And see how that instantly changes the texture? Yes, because you want it to be spreadable, especially since we're going to be doing this on a roll. You want it to be spreadable. Look at that. Perfect. Okay, so this guy's going to be ready. I'm going to just scrape this. Give one more scrape around here, and then we're gonna have that just sit and wait until our roll is just cool. You don't want it to be cold because you want to be able to still roll it, but you can't have it warm, otherwise it's gonna melt this. So it's that you gotta find that sweet spot, and that's gonna be different for everyone because it depends on how hot your house is, where you're cooling it, all that kind of a thing. But this looks great. We're gonna put that aside and wait for ours to cool. I think we're ready for icing, or let it cool for about 1.5 hours. So we are gonna just carefully unroll this and see. Oh, it's still warm inside. I'm gonna wait more. So it's still warm. What I'm gonna do is unroll it about this much, because you can see this has a nice curve on it, and I'm gonna see if I can let it cool the rest of the way a little bit open. Otherwise, it's gonna just take so long for the inside to cool. So I'm gonna let it, oh, I'm scared. I'm gonna let it cool like this and see what happens. I put it back. I looked and there was a huge crack. I'm being impatient and I don't wanna wait anymore. So there's gonna be cracks in it. Funnily, it feels like cracks on the outside, but maybe on the inside, but maybe not cracks on the inside. We'll see. We'll find out. You can see the pumpkin color has come off of this. Yeah, look at this. Busted, busted. It's my first try. It's fine. It'll eat the same. Busted. It's also so thick, so you can even see it's cracking because it's still so warm. But we're gonna put icing on it. We're gonna see what happens. We'll see if we can fix some of this. So put that on. We're gonna make sure that it has some across the whole thing. That is just ugly looking, but let's see if we can fix it. It won't be fixed, but it'll be edible. It'll be edible. It won't be perfect, but it'll be edible. I think what I'll need to do next time is either do less leavening agent, or I don't know, we'll figure it out. But we're just gonna put some of this all the way across the whole thing. Doesn't need to be perfect, no, because guess what? I'm just the one eating it. Am I gonna whine about this later? Probably. Because I want it to be right the first time, and it's not always how it goes. But are we learning things? Yes. Will this taste delicious? Absolutely. Perfect, because this is still quite warm, so it's probably gonna, we'll see. We'll see. Let's go right into here. Gonna just kind of swoosh this around. We're gonna roll it back up, and then I'm gonna pop it in the fridge for probably an hour, and then we'll cut into it and see if it even has the resemblance, even a mild resemblance of a roll. Yeah, it's already starting to crack. So you're supposed to roll it like this and then pull that off. See, you're also supposed to put powdered sugar on this so it doesn't stick. I didn't do that. This is gonna be a hot mess, but it will be delicious. And at least you can see that not all of us get it right on the first try. So that's why when you see these shows and they're like, you've got 2 hours to do this, they're so full. That is so mean. Like, you're gonna cause a heart attack for someone, I swear. Okay, I'm gonna do it like this. It is rolled, and now I'm gonna leave it in here, and I'm gonna pop it in the fridge and see what happens. Okay, I have taken this out of the fridge. We are going to put it on a plate. It's going to look like a poopy poop on the top, and that's okay. We're learning. This is new. We're learning. There we go. So this will peel off a little easier now. But what you can do, I'm going to show you how to like kind of cover up when it doesn't look right. Which nothing that a little, oh, look at it peeling that off. Oh well. Again, I'm the only one eating it, so it's not like it's the end of the world. I'm not like giving this to anybody. But what we're going to do is use some powdered sugar on the top. Oh, goodness gracious. Little crack right there. Got to get this off. I bet if I was more patient, it wouldn't look as bad. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, okay? Okay, not as bad as I thought. So then you take a little powdered sugar and one of these, and you can go on here, and then you can just kind of like, cause look, now you can't really tell, can you? It's a cheater's way of making it look. It's not a cheater, I'm just showing you how to kind of save it if it's fighting you, okay? If it's fighting. I'm gonna show it from the side so you can see it from the side, and then we'll cut into it. So here is one side. And here is the other. So we're gonna give it a cut here. It's a nice thick piece. And then we're going to open it up and see how bad the roll is. You know what? That is, for a first try, that's not bad. It's ugly, but it'll eat. Way better than I thought it was gonna be. Let's taste it. I want icing with it because the icing is really, really good. So let's take a bit here and let's try it. Eat. I got a piece. And, see, it's delicious. Melts in your mouth. That's really good. Now again, it's not the prettiest and I'm gonna get better at it. But now, you know how to do it. And again, you don't have to roll it like this because it is a pain and, you know, I did want to throw it a little bit. But now you know how at least what the process looks like, and I'm going to give you all your measurements. So this is where you're going to screenshot your measurements. Remember that they're also in the description. There you go, screenshot it. Perfect. Remember, you can do this in a sheet cake. You could do it in cupcakes. You can do it in 6-inch rounds. You can do it in any way you want. But for my first try, in an actual pumpkin roll, I'm not entirely mad at it. All right? Okay, I love you, bye.